Hello, another week, another series of crazy occurrences that never disappoint. Now, I need to start with my favourite moment of the week, and this is a little FAFO, you know, the F around, find out, but this is Italian style. So half-wit protesters determined to annoy as many people as possible, well, they didn't quite count on contending with this bloke, an Italian father-to-be desperate to get back to his pregnant wife. He was having, well, none of it.
No, non lo picchiare, dai. Non lo picchiare. Fatelo passare, Giorgi, fallo passare, dai. Oh! Non ammazzi!
Now, we all must acknowledge that the right to protest matters greatly. It is a wonderful thing. It's what separates us from so many others, a privilege not afforded to all. To make a mockery of that, this is what the protesters are doing. To endanger lives and make yourselves polarising pests is disgraceful. And the mollycoddling of these idiots has only further encouraged this ludicrous behaviour. Woke wankers have been enabled for too long. Seriously, protest, express yourself, be a fool. You have every right in the world. Just don't ruin other people's existence in the process. Maybe the police could do their job a little more thoroughly so citizens don't need to do it for them. And just another little look because it is so good. Enjoy. Look how shocked and vulnerable they are when someone actually stands up to them. Can't imagine them surviving long in a country that is far less tolerant than their own. It's not brave to protest in Italy, is it? Iran, now that's a different story. They are the courageous souls, not these flogs. And along a similar vein, Cynthia Nixon reckons this shirt was a total coincidence. From whatever the latest Sex and the City edition was, I stopped watching about 13 of them ago. I mean, come on. The red triangle? They put out a statement trying to say that the wardrobe department had provided it and there was no intent. I can tell you as someone who's worked with wardrobe for 20 years, sometimes I look back and go, God, why did I agree to wear that? You always agree to wear that. And there is no way in hell one thing networks do, and they do it in the most annoying ways normally. They don't want anything to be distracting, to be controversial. Now, I know it's Sex and the City, so it's a little bit different. But they would err away from anything controversial normally because it's just not worth it to them. They're trying to attract the largest audience possible. They're trying to appeal to the largest audience. So, yes, they're not going to have an Israeli flag, but normally they would not want to have a Palestinian one either. Anything that is divisive that they don't need, they would just avoid. It's generally how it's done. It's easier that way. She would have been completely aware, leading the charge, pushing from the front, etc., etc. What a crock of beep. This is the same woman, by the way, who takes to the streets to protest for trans rights. She has trans children. Have a look.
Most importantly, I am here today as the mother of a proud trans man. I am here today as the aunt of a proud trans man. My best friend's kid is trans, and my kid's best friend is trans. My wife and I, our lives are filled with the most amazing, beautiful, brave, trans people, young and old, but especially young.
But she wears the flag of a regime that would kill any man who even smelt remotely like a woman, let alone dressed as one. These lefty lunatics are so flawed. They're so contradictory. And for the most part, it seems so blissfully unaware. Half their luck. Oh, and what a segue. Bernie Sanders and Bat Beep crazy favourite, because she provides us with so much material, AOC are leading the pack when it comes to humiliating hypocrisy. I mean, in their defence, they've gone a little silent on climate change of late, but it was their numero uno favourite topic for a long time. Both have been spending millions on private jets over the past few weeks with their call out the oligarchs and Elon and rich people and money and blah, 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 blah.
For you, what is non-negotiable?
You know, I think some of the climate provisions that we have, we cannot afford to increase carbon or just fossil fuel emissions at this time. That is simply the science. That is not.
I think it is morally irresponsible, inconceivable, that this country is not leading the world in cutting carbon emissions and taking on the fossil fuel industry. And I should also add, as part of this whole...
It's just a little hypocritical, silly, embarrassing. There's so many other words. I mean, could AOC be starting to maybe see the appeal of being rich and having a lot of money? She's sure acting like it. She might, though, if she does decide to continue on with this luxurious lifestyle, she may want to revisit this comment.
Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money.
Now, her competition for the Democratic presidential candidacy, it would seem, it's not Bernie Sanders. I won't say that because that would be mean, but let's say he's probably a little beyond his best. Jasmine Crockett, though, well, she's doing her darned best to try and lay down a serious, shall we call it, platform for her push. Have a look.
I want y'all to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time, if you try me, you will find out. I just want to be clear about that, because I am truly a black woman at the same time. So.
Now, firstly, I'd make the point that if you have to tell people you are serious, that is your first big problem. Secondly, it's called the internet, Jasmine, and it is forever.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So yes.
According to them, the trans kids that want to play the sport, Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had. Since when? Find the little trans child that is ruining your life. I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think, and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But it's Ted Cruz. I mean, this dude has to be knocked over the head, hard, right? There is no niceties with him, at all. You go clean off on him, right?
I said before, the Democrats have taken a lot of beatings. They have lost their confidence. They've gone crazy. How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? Is that real? Are they serious about it?
Say no more. Seriously, though, what chance do they have when people like Hillary Clinton have led the way for the Democratic Party? She's their example for all these women. And she's determined to continue to do whatever she can to ensure no other woman ever gets a chance because, well, the Dems are heading towards being unelectable. This week, she continued to encourage them very publicly to back MS-13 gang member and alleged wife-beater Kilmar Abrego Garcia, sharing on X the following. Before the election, I warned that there is no safe haven under authoritarianism. If they can ship Kilmar Abrego Garcia to a foreign prison accused of no crime with no trial, they can do it to anyone. Americans of conscience must stand against this now. I'm just assuming she was writing it with some kind of passion. Now, I don't need to go through his rap sheet again because you've heard it all a million times, but just keep in mind it's long and 2 separate courts found him to be associated with MS-13. He has the tattoos. Americans of conscience must stand against this now, his removal. Hillary, Americans of conscience must stand against gang-related violence and illegal immigration. I suspect that's a much better alignment of their values. They must stand for the rights of innocent women who are being killed, children losing their mothers, mothers losing their daughters. That's who you should be fighting for. It's almost like, and I mean, I hate to say this, but it's almost like she doesn't want the Dems to succeed if she's not the headline act. Almost. Now, the International Criminal Court has asked the Hungarian government for an explanation as to why they didn't enforce the international arrest warrant issued against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let me save the Hungarian government some time and respond to the ICC on their behalf. I'm sure they won't mind. Because, ICC, you are a farcical group of morons who pretend to be legitimate but would struggle to win a legitimacy contest against a banana. You provide cover for terrorists whilst attempting to destroy the victims of it. And most people are hopefully now starting to wake up to this fact. You're welcome. Now let me be serious for just a moment regarding the report that Israel released into the killing of aid workers last month. War is messy, tragic, full of human suffering. That's just a given. Even the most legitimate of wars will feature catastrophic mistakes. Imagine now that your enemy has a well-documented history of using hospitals and ambulances as weapons of war. They infiltrate them, they hide in them, they use them as ways to launch missiles towards Israel. Mistakes will happen. Israel has acknowledged this. People have been dismissed and accountability has occurred. That's a big deal, particularly when you look at the enemy. I'll tell you where accountability will never occur, and that is within Hamas. There's a couple of reasons. The first, the obvious one, because no death they cause is ever accidental or unintentional. They are murderous terrorists. They are trying to kill constantly. Israel is launching targeted attacks against said terrorists who are murderers, slaughterers, rapists. You see the difference? Every person killed by Hamas is intentional. There will be innocent deaths absolutely in a war, particularly when the terrorists hide amongst civilians. So for those trying to paint this as a win for the pro-Palestinian / pro-Hamas movement, you are so wrong and you can't even see that. It is the complete opposite. The complete opposite. It was tragic, it was a mistake, and people have paid a price, and so they should. It matters too much not to hold people to account for any death that occurs when a mistake is made. Absolutely. Israel are fighting a war for survival they did not start nor wish to continue. But their neighbours are holding hostages and promising to continue slaughtering innocents at every single opportunity. Mistakes in the heat of battle will occur. But there's only one side taking responsibility and holding their fighters to account. And it ain't Hamas. This is what democracies do. They investigate. They hold people to account. They put out the information to the public when an accident occurs. Again, no accidents ever occur on Hamas's behalf because every death is intentional. And it wouldn't be an episode of BBC without a little CNN, now would it? Another clanger this week, apparently. And yes, again, this is very real. Robots are often white. That's a problem. And that, my fair-weathered friends, is a direct quote, a headline. That exact headline appeared this week. And it could almost be the stupidest thing I've ever seen on their network. And that is a very tightly contested, crowded field, by the way. New research, they go on to say, reveals this may be racism. That could officially do me. This may be my moment. The moment I acknowledge the world is too far gone and bat beep crazy for me to keep trying. But after brief reflection, I've decided it's not though, thank goodness. For those who hate me, not so good news for you. I'll give it another week and see if things improve, while secretly hoping they don't, so I can bring you an even better episode of BBC next week. Thanks for watching. See you next week.